I don't know why it started on that screen. Okay, welcome back, everyone, to the Pleb Underground. All right, hope that everybody is having a great day. You know the deal. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, right? Because there's always something going on. Let's go through what we are going to be looking at today. As you could imagine, Paper Bitcoin Summer rages on. We're going to take a look at some of the new entrants, right, to the Paper Bitcoin Paper Bitcoin arena. Monero's 51% attack, supposedly fake. We're going to take a look at that. Tether, right? Tether's got a new employee. What has Phil been saying this entire time about Tether? I don't like them. I'm not a Tether simp. They are playing the game the best. And this latest move may be proving that accurate. And guess what? We're going to have a new IPO, guys. That's right, a new IPO. And we are going to take a look at which exchange is now going to be cashing in on the huge craze. But guys, you know the deal. Before we do any of that, we're going to show some love to the Pleb Underground sponsor, and we are going to be right back to dive into all the noise. I'm kidding. It's not noise. It's signal. All right. Pleb Underground is sponsored by Archimedes Emporium. Discover the pinnacle of precision engineering, starting with their Bitcoin logo wall clock, meticulously machined in Maine from a solid block of aerospace-grade aluminum, ensuring unparalleled durability and performance. Experience the difference of a product made without compromise. Head on over to Archimedes Emporium. All right, let's start it off right away, guys. If this is not an endorsement to Stack Sats, maybe it should be. So people know who Peter Todd is, right? Core developer. And here you go. Here's an ad, right? Somebody paid him $5K to shill this Solana crap. Not a good look, guys. Not a good look. Yeah, Peter Todd down bad. Anyways, moving on to some real news, moving on to some real stuff. Boom! Bitcoin treasuries. That's right. We've got another one. Public company DDC Enterprise announces they aim to accumulate 10,000 Bitcoin. All right. So it's like a letter of intention. It's like a letter of intention. You know, it's kind of like when you get a mandate for something. We've got a mandate to earn $1 million this year. Doesn't mean you're actually going to do it. It just means there's a mandate for it. Anyways, obviously this is very nice, right? More people coming to the table, all that good stuff. And then could sit there and make ourselves feel better by saying net positive for Bitcoin. All right. And moving on, let's see here. AMDAX will launch AMBTS. Ooh. All right. So going to launch a Bitcoin treasury company targeting 210,000 Bitcoin long-term. Could become the first public Bitcoin treasury in the Netherlands. Get more attention, guys. And again, right, these intentions are great. We obviously want to see businesses and individuals execute on this stuff, but more importantly than executing on this stuff, being able to hodl into the future. I don't care how much Bitcoin you can buy if you can't afford to hold it. It's useless. It's pointless. Anyways, I know it's kind of mean. It's not really useless and pointless, right? Because obviously if you're buying it, you're creating transactions, and you know that means somebody was selling and there's the market. So I know I'm just being a jerk, okay? Phil's being a jerk. It's fine. Tony, it is not my birthday. It's never my birthday, Tony. I was never born. I was hatched. I'm a bird. Anyways, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep going here. The Bitcoin treasury stuff. Oh, nice. I love it when these guys buy more Bitcoin. It always makes me smile. BlackRock and Michael Saylor now hold 1.3 million Bitcoin worth $162 billion. Fun fact, though. Fun fact. Last night, when we were doing the live show, we were talking exactly about this. And guess what? BlackRock doesn't actually hold that much Bitcoin, right? BlackRock itself only actually has 6 Bitcoin. So BlackRock actually is stacking like a pleb. All this other Bitcoin that's being talked about is Bitcoin that they're holding for their ETF to issue shares against. So it's not actually BlackRock's Bitcoin, right? It's not the same thing as when you say that Block is purchasing Bitcoin or Mercado Libre has purchased Bitcoin, right? It's not the same thing. anyways, I know I'm putting a damper on the whole thing. It's terrible, right? When you actually read through stuff, it's not fun. Nobody likes that. Anyways, all right, let's continue, guys. The fun stuff, right? We were talking about Monero, right? We were talking about Monero being 51% attacked, and like this qubits project had somehow infiltrated it, and not only that, but made it public that they were going to attack Monero, when they were going to attack Monero, when they were going to start, what was happening. They did like a play-by-play, and supposedly, this is all fake. Reaction to CoinDesk's poorly researched article about an alleged 51% attack on the Monero network. And guys, you know the deal. I put links to all my sources in the show notes. So if you want to go back, double check anything, by all means, go take a look, go see it where I got it from. And yeah, let's continue on here with the story. So again, this is a Monero community publication. I'm putting that. I'm just explaining that now, so that way we have some context. That doesn't mean that they are necessarily not telling the truth. I'm not saying that they aren't telling the truth or that CoinDesk is, or vice versa. I'm just saying, hey, this is where the source of information comes from. So Monero was supposedly not 51% attacked. We are writing you to express serious concerns about the article, Monero's 51% attack problem. Okay, and the article goes on to cite the 4 main reasons why this was not true. Okay, so here's what they're claiming: that there was a lack of transparency on the public hash rate. Okay, they were also claiming that the hash rate to blocks mined, there was a discrepancy with that. Okay, that the numbers didn't actually add up. Okay, and another piece to it was the unrealistic profitability of all of this. And I do believe there was one more thing. Yep, there sure was. There it is. Nope, that's not it. Literally the same one I just pulled up. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec. I know I had another one. There we go. All right. So the proof is a press release. So according to the Monero community, all of this noise that we've been seeing around this 51% attack hasn't even come out of any kind of Chainalysis or anything like that. Not that I trust Chainalysis, but all of this has come out of a press release. And the other thing is, which to me, like, I know that Zach XBT doesn't necessarily investigate everything, but I mean, there's no mention of this at all in any way, shape, or form from him either. So take that with a grain of salt. Take that as you will. I think these guys, they may not be lying about this, right? I think that maybe this whole 51% attack was indeed faked. In all fairness, it created a whole bunch of marketing for Monero, right? So other people would say that it made a bunch of marketing for qubits. So I don't know. Either way, it's a shitcoin. It's not Bitcoin. I understand that it has the privacy use case and all that stuff, but for me, I would never actually store my value in something that the base layer is completely obfuscated and that has had 14 forks and whatever. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's move on. So yeah, guys, you be the judge whether you think that was fake or real. I'm sure we're going to have some more information coming out about that. But for now, this is where we are. So maybe CoinDesk publishes a retraction. If they do, I'll definitely mention it. But for now, we're going to move on to another pressing story, guys. So last week, that Bullish had an IPO, right? Peter Thiel's Bitcoin/crypto exchange just did its IPO. Only 2 weeks after Erebor, right, which is going to offer financial services to crypto companies and the tech sector. So funny, right? Like he goes and creates the back end, and then all of a sudden IPOs an exchange which is going to connect to his own back end. This is all just comical nonsense. But anyways, the point I'm making is new exchange going to be IPOing. Who is it?
The exchange Gemini's space station filing for its IPO and joining a wave of digital asset firms seeking to tap into the public markets. The company, founded back in 2014 by billionaire twins Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. It plans to list on the NASDAQ right here under the ticker symbol GEMI. Terms of that offering were not disclosed in a filing that was made public on Friday. The company supports more than 70 cryptocurrencies and operations in more than 60 countries. It also supports stablecoins and issues the Gemini dollar stablecoin. Now, in the 6 months ended June 30th, Gemini reported a net loss of about $280 million on total revenue of about $69 million. That compares with a net loss of $41 million on revenue of $74 million a year ago.
Okay, so if you understood what he just said, then you understand that they've actually increased their losses, right? Like they've actually increased them, and that is definitely not a good thing. Okay, and again, right? It's look, companies that go public, there's no problem with debt, right? Like debt isn't the nail in the coffin. The ability for the business to pay back that debt is really what's important. The ability for the business to produce cash flows. This is the stuff that's important. So it's like, I'm not just, blaming them because, oh yeah, they don't have good numbers. But I'll tell you this though, right? They're an exchange that has been around for a very long time. And I'm not going to lie, I actually did think that they were profitable. Not knowing their numbers, right? I assumed that this was the one exchange that was maybe, besides Coinbase, that maybe wasn't losing money. And hey, look, I was totally wrong about that. These guys are actually swimming in debt, and their debt is actually increasing. And you can see right down here, right? They reported $2.1 billion in liabilities as of June 30th, including loans from Galaxy and NYDIG. Ugh. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens when they go public. Look, they're striking while the iron's hot, right? Like you're not going to blame some company for striking while the iron's hot, right? They're all doing this. All of these companies are doing this. So blame one, blame them all. Anyways, the exchange generated just $68 million on revenue in the first 6 months of 2025, down from $74 million during the same period last. So while their losses ballooned more than sixfold. So yeah. Look, to a certain extent, there's a lot of shareholders, I'm sure, right? The Series A, B, and C shareholders from Gemini that are really itching to get out, right? So they've been holding the bag for quite a few years, and maybe this is the cycle where they see themselves actually breaking out and going public. Anyways, I wish them the best of luck and all that stuff. I hope that they can actually turn that around and become a profitable business. But we'll see. Anyways, guys, the latest and greatest news. I mean, I'm debating if I actually should be surprised by this or not. But yeah, in case you didn't know, right? You know that Bo Hines stepped down, right, from his role in the government. And take a look at this. He already has a job. I wish for the average person to be able to find such high quality employment based on their skills or lack of skills as quickly and as easily as people like Bo. So, Tether appoints former White House Crypto Council executive. No way. Bo Hines as strategic advisor for digital assets and U.S. strategy. Now, I'm gonna be obviously I'm gonna be mean, but this guy doesn't actually have any skills that has anything to do with this, right? This is just Tether playing the amazing game that they have been playing from the start. Okay, they are playing the U.S. government the best. They're playing the regulators the best. Okay, hands down, they have the best game plan for being able to kick the can down the road and staying alive and relevant, and at the same time, keeping everybody off their back, keeping all of the institutions that could cause them problems off of their back. And if this wasn't evidence enough, then let me make it clear one more time. It's a big club, and we're not in it. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about today. As you know, we put every single one of these episodes on Apple Podcasts, and they also end up on fountain.fm. If you want to stream us sats, you can head on over to fountain.fm. Otherwise, guys, does it for me today. I will catch you all tomorrow. Peace.